Hi, I'm Diana Hernandez, and I am the member of the government. Thank you, Professor Chris, for hosting this insightful debate. I'd like to thank the audience for listening with an open mind, and lastly, thank you to the opposition for sharing your thoughts on the resolution. The government today is arguing on the negative effect of banning books in schools, and the opposition's concern is the possible age-inappropriate material that students are reading. The leader of the opposition argues that inappropriate books, discriminatory books, and racism-themed books will encourage children to act out bad behaviors. These arguments discredit the innocence of children and ignore the possibility that the opposite might happen. These students might learn significant lessons in their readings, lessons that will contribute to their growth and development as adults. The opposition states in their first argument that books that have discriminatory topics should be banned because they encourage children to be discriminatory themselves. I'd like to note that any books that directly encourage discrimination are hate books, and hate books don't usually find themselves on the shelves of school libraries. On the other hand, school books that discuss sensitive topics such as race and religion aim to educate people and not influence them. Their second argument is that books that discuss racism will lead readers to be racist themselves. This is simply not true, as racism is an instilled characteristic that thrives on its environment. Take a Trump rally, for example. These rally attendees feel comfortable enough to spread hate because they are surrounded by it. Race isn't just a one-factor type of thing. You can't read a book and become a racist person because racism has so many other factors at hand. According to an article written by C.B. Coyle for the Advocates for Inclusive Education blog, taking books from our library shelves is an attempt to control how other people's children grow and think. Banning books from schools will limit students' potential growth in their mindset and individuality. From kindergarten to senior year, children spend the majority of their time in a school setting, and their ability to learn different things from a vast selection of books is what creates unique individuals who contribute to society in their own way. Aside from limiting creative thinking for students, banning books is a direct violation of the First Amendment, which protects our freedom of speech and press, amongst other things. The Free Speech Center at Middle Tennessee State University states that the First Amendment protects student rights to receive information and express ideas, an idea that was highlighted in the Tinker v. Des Moines Independent Community School District when the Supreme Court recognized the right of students to wear black armbands in protest of the Vietnam War. Book bans are not meant to protect children. The intention is to stop people from certain backgrounds from speaking their truth, a truth that those who support book banning don't want their children to know in fear that they might be negatively influenced. The key word in their argument is negative. The purpose of books like The Diary of Anne Frank or The Hate We Give isn't to negatively influence the readers, but to open up a discussion on the real problems of our past and how many things have changed since then. By not banning books in schools, we encourage students to think freely and don't make them feel limited to their options of learning. If we make the wrong decision and ban certain books from our children's schools, we are allowing their rights to be violated and encouraging a Big Brother type of society. Children have as many rights as adults do. After all, we're all humans. The leader of the opposition did not state any advantages to banning books and also did not cite any credible sources, and I believe this makes their argument weak. If we as individuals don't want our children to read about certain issues, we must take it upon ourselves to pre-screen their books and make the decisions as to whether it is something you would like them to read. We shouldn't make these books unavailable to all students just because we don't agree with something. It's important to remember that we don't all raise our children the same way. Again, I am Diana Hernandez, member of the government, and we urge you to vote against the policy that schools should ban books for the better future of our children. Thank you.